then what do we have in the moment that can help us make the most effective bullseye decisions?
I know behavioral thing or connecting to people's behavior is a controversial topic in poker, which is hilarious because FBI use it, CIA use it. In fact, police use it. They know how to tell apart when somebody is trying to act like they're confident, to tell you, like convince you, and they know they're lying, right? When as opposed to somebody else who's genuinely telling you, I don't give a shit what you think because this is how I feel, and however you interpret it, I don't care about it because the truth is on my side. Right? So this has been used by agencies for forever. We use this behavioral ability all the time with our partners, with our friends, with our family, with strangers. We know when somebody feels sad or upset instantly without the person telling us, just by looking at their face, just by being in their energy and going, something is off. This person feels really sad. This is why people will ask you when you're feeling something, what's wrong, almost immediately without you saying anything. Right? Notice how easy that is to pick up. It's something so innate that we don't have to even think about it because it's already available in us. Why? Because as humans, it's part of our survival mechanism. We know when somebody feels good, feels bad, feels angry, feels sad, because if we don't recognize those cues, we have a much likelier chance of dying. We're talking about going back to history of humanity. So these are innate abilities that we have in us that you don't have to work on. It's already in you. However, in poker world, those abilities get shut down because there's this whole misnomer idea that somehow you can't trust your intuition, or that it's a hunch, that's something unreliable. When intuition, in fact, is actually an entire information downloaded of everything to give you the exact answer in that moment. It's not just a random hunch. It's ability to pick up on all the cues from what happened to hand strategically to all the physical and emotional cues that's being given off by the opponent.
Yeah, it's your subconscious supercomputer. It remembers all the hands you've played, all the hands you're going to play, all the hands that are being played in different timelines and everything. So it's not just a hunch. It's actually like a giant database.
Think of the idea that we think that our thoughts, everything we think consciously, the logic and reason is basically what to most people is like, that's me, right? Well, then think about it. You're not running your body system. You're not running your heart, the blood pumping to your heart or running through your system or any other functions in your heart, right? You have an incredibly complex system that's being operated all the time. Where does that come from? That's not your thoughts. You're not thinking it. You're not thinking yourself to be even alive. So this idea is absolute fallacy that we're attached to our thoughts as us. So if it's not my thought, then I'm incapable or then it's not real. And that's where the shift gets to happen because your thoughts, honestly, are something that's very minimal in its capacity, ability to tell you what's going on. Right? Think about it in your real life when you logically try to do something in an argument with a person, not understanding where they're even coming from and getting to nothing or nowhere, getting to in a deeper heated argument and then you're not getting along anymore.
And then 2 hours later, you're like, oh, I should have said that. Yeah, something else comes to you, right?
Exactly. So our thoughts are basically very limited in its perception. So the point is to connect deeper and trust that it's already information is there and for us to derive that information from within. And the way to do it is to ask simple questions because the questions will bring it to your conscious, meaning your thinking logical mind, the answer is already within you. So then you're able to hear it consciously. And in this case, it's very simple. Forget about everything else, behavior. On the river, when Ketola raises him, right, we see how intense he got. His energy went through the roof when the card hit. Neck pulsating, literally could not control his energy. Why? Because on an innate level, unconscious level, he was deeply excited. Consciously, he wanted to hide it. I don't want him to see that I'm excited. Obviously, I don't want him to know that I hit a boat. However, on a unconscious level, he didn't even expect to hit the boat. He probably expected himself to have to face a big bet with 2 pair on a flush board and probably decide whether I call here or not.
Yeah, he knew he had 4 outs. So when he hit it, it went from like, fuck, I'm going to have to face a big bet on the river and I'm not going to be able to call to, oh, mama.
Yeah, he might not have known that he had 4 outs. He knew that he was not in position that he wanted to be in, which is, I don't like this position where I have 2 pair on the board with a straight there, a flush there, and I'm facing big bets from Alex Foxen. That's not my comfort zone. Ketola's comfort zone is not that at all. And he's now thinking like, okay, if I'm facing a huge bet, what do I do? Do I likely fold? So his mind is in this negative state of like, oh man, this is not working out for me on a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see it on his face. You could see he's jittery. You could see he's sad. You could see he's nervous. All of these things are showing up in his face. If you saw somebody with his expression in real life, you would ask him what's wrong, because you would see that he's actually physically upset and emotionally upset, and it's visible.
Yeah.
On the river, that drastically flips because of his own surprise that it happened. Energy goes through the roof, neck pulsating, the whole body's pulsating, face pulsating, and he needs another 10, 15 seconds to 20 seconds to consciously settle it down, to be like, hold on, I have to push it down so he doesn't see me be this excited.
And so the simple question is just, when the card hits on the river, does he get more excited and settled, or does he get more sad and deflated? And it makes it very clear.
Yeah, you use that. Apply the adjectives that you feel you pick up on easier, or you consciously relate to easier. Is he more nervous and sad, or is he more intense and excited, for example? Or is he more excited and then get settled, or more sad and jittery? Ultimately, you don't have to describe them. You already innately know what each of these look like on a deeper level. So just by asking, is it more this or that, gives you the answer intuitively, because the answer is already within you. You see it right in front of you. You already picked up on it. It's just now you are consciously becoming aware of it.
What does he want us to believe?
Yeah, and this part is something that if you watch podcasts with CIA agents and FBI agents, this is something that is used constantly when they interrogate prisoners or they interrogate suspects. It's because they know exactly what the person on an innate level wants to portray when they're lying to you or when they want to deceive you, which is they want to portray the same information to convince you of something. It's an unconscious response, or semi-conscious for some, meaning they're consciously realizing, I want to do this to make myself look a certain way. And it's also unconscious because their body is a self-defense. Their mind goes like, I need to defend myself. This is the only way I could survive, is by convincing them of this. Mm-hmm. What do they want to convince you of is simple, that they're confident, comfortable, and strong. It's the same message being repeated on loop. So when somebody's bluffing or they're turning something to a bluff, that's the only thing they want to convince you of. There's no other message being sent. Even when they look like, oh, look, this person seems like he's kind of relaxed. They want to convince you that they're comfortable, confident, strong. Mm-hmm. So on the river, when the river happened, forget about even the information of excitement, energized that Ketola was showing visibly. The question is, what is he trying to portray to Alex Foxen? Is he trying to portray that he's confident, calm, and strong? AKA, is he bluffing?
Confident, comfortable, and strong.
Yeah. Is he confident, comfortable, and strong? AKA, is bluffing? Or
does he not give a shit?
Does he not give a shit? Doesn't care how you interpret it? Basically goading you, telling you, I don't care what you do. I don't care how you perceive me. Whatever you want to do. And literally pushing your buttons to tell you, yeah, lift me up. I dare you.
Mm-hmm. And a couple of things to point out. When Foxen asks if he's bluffing again, he says, again. And suggesting what?
Yeah, he's basically suggesting that I didn't bluff then, and I could be bluffing right now.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have bluff again.
Again?
Oh, he responded.
Which Foxen picked up on, which is exactly the message that Ketola was sending to him, because Foxen goes, oh, it's your first time bluffing? Because he wanted to do what? Is he trying to portray confidence and strength? No, he's trying to say, hey, I might be bluffing you right now.
Bluffing, yeah.
You should look me up, because it's very well I could be bluffing you. Like I didn't bluff you before, but I could be bluffing you now. Mm-hmm. And then notice the follow-up statement after that, where Ketola could have stayed quiet and continue try to portray confidence. Hey, look at me, I'm confident. I'm sitting here, I'm acting confident. This is what a confident person is supposed to look like. Instead, he said in a very derisive voice, he said something to the extent of, I know you've been watching my videos on the toilet.
Or is this the first time?
I know you watch the hands in the toilet.
Notice how that even feels when he says it. Does it sound like somebody who's being, oh, look, I'm confident, portraying like, I want you to believe I'm confident? Or is it somebody who's saying, fuck you? I'm not trying to portray I'm confident. I'm actually telling you, go fuck yourself. I'm challenging you. I'm telling you, go do something about it. And that's the difference. When somebody's portraying confidence and comfort, they do anything and everything to avoid triggering you.
Mm-hmm.
They do everything to avoid inflaming you or challenging you or goading you, because they don't want you to actually do anything. They want to appear this way so that you would believe that and eventually go away, or in this case, fold.
Yeah, and this is the far end opposite of the spectrum, because he's basically saying, like, you think you're the best, you do all that studying, you go watch all my videos in the bathroom, and look where you are right now, right under my fucking thumb.
Yeah. Yeah, he's basically challenging you.
Mm-hmm.
He's not trying to appear confident and strong. He's saying, I don't give a shit if you think I'm weak. In fact, I want you to test me. Try me.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference for you guys at home when you're watching somebody and you're asking that question? The difference is very simple. When somebody's trying to appear confident, comfortable, and strong, they will not want to rock the boat. Everything they do is going to be designed to appease you, to make you feel like, well, he looks comfortable, I think. He looks kind of confident. So maybe I should just fold. Anything outside of that, where the person is saying, I don't care how you interpret me. In fact, I'm going to do things to provoke you, or I'm going to do things to make you doubt me, or I don't give a shit how you think about me. I'll do whatever hell I want, and you could do whatever you want. You can go fuck yourself, because I don't care about looking comfortable or strong, confident, because none of those things matter to me. I'm actually being myself, and I'm doing exactly what I want right now. That's somebody who wants you to get called. Or is that somebody who's asking to be called, and somebody who's asking you to put the money in?
Yeah, and we're seeing that this is where a lot of our students get tripped up, is they mistake what the person is trying to convey about their hand for how they actually feel about their hand. And this is a distinction that's not made in any level. And this is, Foxen and Chance, by admission, they talk that they do behavior. So they use behavior stuff in their decision-making. You can see even here, there's not a distinction between like what he wants to portray about his hand and how he actually feels, which led him to miss very overt, like slap in the face pieces of information that point to how simple the decision would be.
Yeah.
Obviously from the outside, we're looking from the outside. Not that I don't make mistakes at the table or whatever, but the information to make the right decision is all there.
Yeah, and it's all there. And we spoke earlier, so what's stopping us, right? What is stopping from making decision, even when we know intuitively, we know like this guy is strong. This guy has a monster hand. This guy has just got me beat. And I can't fold. Why? Because the pain of if I fold here and I'm wrong is bigger than the pain of if I call here and I'm wrong. And vice versa. Think about when you made a fold, when you intuitively maybe had second pair or third pair, and you knew you had a beat. You just felt it. The person was portraying confidence and strength, yet he was genuinely being nervous and jittery and unsettled and deflated. And you didn't have to describe it in those words, but you felt it so clearly. Yet you folded because the story was, I'll wait for a better spot. I'll have the top of my range when I call, so I should fold this hand in this time. Right? Because the idea being, if I make this call here and I'm wrong, then I'm going to judge myself and my entire foundation as a player. And that's going to be extremely painful, because then that voice of judgment is going to tell me, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? Because I can't even follow my own strategy. So this is why we get attached to trying to learn strategy and follow it to the T, because it takes the decision out of our hands. So when we make mistakes, we could say that mistake happened because variance set up cooler, rather than take accountability and saying, I knew what was happening in that hand. I didn't want to make that decision because I was avoiding, or I was resisting the pain of, if I'm wrong here and I go against what I'm supposed to do in the vacuum or due to the strategy that I learned, then that completely collapses my entire identity as a poker player who I am.
Yeah, notice Foxen did not rebuy.
Yeah. I'm sure Ketola gave him opportunity to basically, go heads up again. And I'm sure Foxen has enough backers to put him in there. And there's a reason why Foxen didn't want to play again, because I believe his confidence in himself from that hand and from that match was completely crushed, because he looked at it and said, whoa, I could be faced with a similar situation again, and I'm going to make a decision that I can't trust fully against this player.
Yeah, which is a symptom of that relying fully on the strategy and not having the ability to adjust in real time based on new information.
Yep.
Whatever, if that doesn't align with you anymore, if your results are inconsistent, if you have mental fog or emotions that are taking over during the game that affect your ability to make the best decision in the moment or play at a level that you know you're capable of playing. And in general, if you're just not feeling like yourself, because a lot of in poker, we are following the knowledge and the wisdom of the people that we perceive as better than us. And then ultimately we end up adopting their identities. We start playing like them, when I've learned from my own journey that learning to embrace my own unique gifts and talents has made me a much better person and player because I fully embrace myself. And so you all have your own intuition and style of play and everything that you get to embrace that will make you the player and the person you're meant to be. And that is our mission here at Poker with Purpose, is to help you access that player in person. So reach out to us, DM us. We'd love to hear what's working for you, what's not working for you, where you are on your journey. I answer all my DMs directly. We have a team that answers DMs as well. And we're also creating something special for you right now over this next month that is going to revolutionize the way that poker is taught and revolutionize the way that you can access that player in person within you.
Notice, because if you're trying to be like Alex Foxen, who's one of the very best poker players in the world, and you see him making the kind of error that makes you question everything about his ability as a poker player, when I see that not necessarily working for him at all times, and I'm trying to be a lesser version of him instead of being the full version of myself. And this is ultimately the work, because the real full version of you is the best poker player that's available for you. Period.
Thanks for watching.